this group?
We're just, I mean, I tell you, we spend a lot of time on the basic fundamentals. You know, we can't get away from that. You know, sometimes we'll work on scheme, and you know, when we're putting in new things, you know, putting in a couple of new pressures today, we worked on those, but it's got to be fundamentals, time and time and time and time and time again. In fact, it gets boring to the point. Like, you know, you got to be creative to keep the kids from losing their focus, but. You know, just coming off the ball, using our hands, getting off blocks, and tackling.
Robbie Baines making that conversion from offensive line, but he seems like he's always got the motor going.
Oh, he's
what
good.
do you see from him?
Yeah, I mean, well, that number one. He's a blue collar, hard working. He'll always go as hard as he can go and work as hard as he can, and that's brought him where he is today. You know, he's not the most athletic guy out there, but he's one of the toughest and one of the strongest. So that obviously helps him and gives him a step up in those areas. So. He's doing a good job.
Has he worked his way into that rotation or thought of it?
Not yet, but we're not really worried about that just yet. You know, we'll get the end of this week and have our scrimmage, and then we'll start kind of formulating that a little bit more. You know, where they're at right now is kind of where they were coming out of spring, and but he's definitely improved over spring. He's definitely in the spring. I wasn't sure if he'd be in a position to help us. Now I think he'll be able to help us.
He could just, you brought him in to help you. What have you seen from him? What strengths?
Again, I think Abe's situation in the spring is we were trying to find a home for him, and we had an emergency situation. We had to move him out to Leo, which he isn't a Leo, but we had to get through practice. So he really was a little bit behind, both mentally and in what we were doing. But he had a good summer. He's come back and he's settled into position. And again, he's one of our more physical players, and he's got to get a real good grasp of our defense and our scheme and our technique. What we're teaching is different from what he's done in the past, so it's a little bit slower transition for him, but he's getting there.
How about Tico?
Tico's another one that shows flashes of real, not brilliance, but real strong play. He's still young, so he hasn't learned how to push through that pace barrier yet, that fatigue barrier, and when he does, I think he's going to be a real factor. When that happens, I hope it'll be sooner than later.